because they were going on these trips.
So first of all, Girls Gone Wild was not us. That was the other one. They're probably all married right now. That wasn't us.
No, they're not married either.
Second of all, you're telling me, because most of this is like college, going out on college weekends, right? You went and date a girl because she went to a college weekend. Even if you look at, let's take a look at the Freaknik. I don't know if you guys watched the Freaknik documentary. How it started off as a college thing. It was innocent. It was called Freaknik, but it was an innocent thing. But then other people started to raunch it up a little bit. These are not the same groups of people. Okay? There was a different level to this that took place to give it its name, is what I'm trying to say.
I have a question in regards to the travel part, right? Because first I was like, are we talking about traveling like were Black women traveling like that? Because I think, and the reason I'm saying it is I think there's a difference when we talk about traveling. I'm thinking like people hopping on flights to get from one place to the other. For the most part, a lot of times when we were traveling, I thought like with Freaknik or whatever, it was people who were already in the vicinity. Not that they're not. So you have Alabama that's right next to Atlanta, so they may drive up, or North Carolina right next to Atlanta, so they might drive up. When I'm thinking about traveling, that would be like me flying in or coming all the way from New York to try to come to Freaknik.
And it was so funny. It's so funny mistaken because I went to Freaknik. I think it was like 96. I did. But it was a different. So what I saw, I didn't see that because it was.
Oh, you went to the innocent freak. Oh.
So no, because we're not gonna do that. But I'm gonna give you what really happened. And I mentioned this even in the beginning. There are cliques, okay? We were at AUC campus around other college people. We were around more college-minded people, which moved a lot different than some other people who came to town. You understand? You know there's a different mentality. We're not going to even do that.
So, mistaken. When I hear travel, I associate it the same way Shan just did.
I did go, but I was also a virgin until I was 21. I went when I was 18. So let that sink in. But go ahead.
So I associate it to what she's talking about because it just seems to me travel is the replacement for family. Like, I don't want a family. Or I'm not gonna have whatever. My life is dedicated to working and traveling, to pretty much being. I think they call it a spinster back in the day. Mm-hmm. So it seems like younger women are dedicating their life to that. I'm single by choice. I can do bad all by myself. I'm gonna travel the world and work my career, and it's sad actually. Like, when the men talk about feminism ruined relationships, it's a lot of stuff I push back on, but something had to give in between the time of women being able to actually compete and get jobs that paid more than the men and the expectation of men. Like, that needed to be addressed at some point collectively in our ideology, because if only 10% of people can get this job and you're making into that 10%, and 95% of that 10% is already married, it's almost like you're punishing yourself for excelling, which you shouldn't have to do. But in order to not do that, you have to remove the expectation that the man is going to be in a higher position socially or financially than you. Like, I think that, like, if you like, because I would never want to say I don't want Black women to make money. I want them to make as much money as they possibly can, right? Collectively, it benefits the children, it benefits the community, it benefits everybody. So that should never be something that we push against. I think the push should have just been the readjustment of expectations the higher up the financial ladder you went. Because as men, if we said I'm only dating women that made the set like the drizzle stuff, we would perpetually be single. If I had to wait till I found a woman that had $1 million, or if I had to wait till, the expectations should have changed in regards to the marketplace. And I think that's generally their argument. I don't think it's articulated well enough that that's the only thing derived from it outside of the triggering and negative emotions. But I would agree that the expectation had to change. Like, it's something had to change.
I think that if you remove that part, like let's just say he doesn't get a master, and this is just period. I think what will work is if he's at least well versed, like if he goes out and experiences things, he learns in other areas, right? He reads, like Ina said, formal education is not always the way, right? Sometimes you can read, you can travel the world, not for girl women, but just to actually understand cultures, because people learn through that way. There's so many different ways to educate yourself. And I think that that's what women are looking for more so than when they look at men who are not educated, that's what they're looking for. They're looking, can he fit into this crowd, right? Can he carry on a conversation with these people that I'm going to have him around because my job, because we have to go to functions because of my job? You know, is he my equal counterpart, not necessarily financially, but mentally? Is he mentally stimulating? Can he, does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Does he move like a man with value? Like the way
Not
he
only
carries himself, you know?
Not only does it make sense, I think it's very condescending when those women like pretend like there aren't enough refined black men for them. We got to remember they don't like a lot of they don't like a lot of refined black men. That's the difference. I use the what's his name? Childish Gambino. What's his real name?
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. Look at Donald Glover. Like, look at him. When I was in school, black women did not like dudes like Donald Glover. Super artistic, super smart. I call the Donald Glovers of the world the men that can exist in any room. You see what I'm saying? He can exist anywhere. He knows the customs. He speaks properly. He can conjugate a verb.
Oh, I got you.
They don't black women don't like their version of a refined black man, like all the time. And
they do.
No, I'm saying all the time, right?
He's considered sassy.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, you got to give some leeway. I think it's capped when they pretend as if there are more of them than there are of refined black men. That can't be.
What she wants is you just up that blue collar worker, right? He work out, his body is worked out. He fine as crap, right? They want that guy to be refined.
They want ghosts from power. That's what they want. Ghosts from power.
It's just
I sell drugs. And I look good.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's you
know what it is. It's kind of like the opposite of what y'all say. Y'all say like y'all want a wife, a freak in the sheets, but you know, classy in the street or whatever. It's kind of the same thing with the women. They want a man that, you know, you could take them from the hood to the boardroom, right? It's the same.
You see that picture that guy with the NASA with the plasma man?
But
I know he's too young for me, but I was like,
with both of those qualities that you find attractive. So a man want a freak, you know, but they don't want everybody else to know that their woman's a freak. So she has to carry herself a certain way.
Mistaken. Let me tell you why. Let me give y'all. Let me give y'all an example. Y'all were on social media today.
That like manly, but we need to also be able to go in places where all of that, like, you know how to
smart niggas can't put it down in the bedroom. That's
this is what I meant to put down. This is
what you said, Mike.
Now smart niggas can't put it down in the bedrooms either.
No, that's not what it is at all.
That's not what.
No, we're saying we want a smart dude that look like that.
Right.
All right. So
we want that body with his brain.